Welcome or welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you for being here and striving with me to recognize and manifest the fact of the one humanity. I want to talk a bit about non-essentials versus essentials. So one of the things that I have heard from people giving me feedback on the channel is that they are in their minds and in their spirit right there with me in terms of recognizing themselves as part of the one humanity. Then real life enters the picture. We walk outside, someone cuts us off in traffic, a family member somehow disrespects us. All of these things that we know are a natural part of life are like little gnats flying at us and really allowing us to be more mindful about our practice. And what does it actually mean to be and consider yourself a part of one humanity? I like to say that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to like everyone, want to have a holding hands, kumbaya moment with every single person. That's unlikely. But what it really means is that we are going through a process of integration and fusion within ourselves, which really expands our consciousness. And when our consciousness starts to expand, we eventually come into contact with our own higher self, our soul, which is, as I've said before, group conscious. Now, that group may start out small, simply meaning your family. It then will extend to the larger community, and eventually it will extend to all of humanity and our entire world. In the meantime, we can recognize that we are really trying to distinguish in everyday life between the essentials and the non-essentials. And the non-essentials really are indicative of self-centeredness and our own personality likes and dislikes. The essentials, which when they start to dawn upon us, really indicate that we are in touch with our higher self. That is what allows us to love humanity as a whole. Because the essentials, if you think about it in terms of just human life, most of us really do want the same things. Most of us do regard respect for ourselves and for others. Most of us do regard living healthy and living well in terms of just our health, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional well-being. If we get down to it, those essentials, if we can start to focus more and more on those, we will find ourselves really coming into a greater unity and union and identification with all that is. Right now, if you pay attention to the news, there are many types of minutia that people are focused on and arguing about. And that can take up all of our time and energy. That's endless, right? Because we are individuals. But it is really pulling back from that and developing the higher consciousness that allows us to see beneath all of the likes and dislikes of each of us and find what is essential. And that is really something that each of us can practice in the everyday. So when you run into someone who does something that just rubs you the wrong way, it irks you, just remind yourself that there is something more essential about the two of you in this moment. And if you can conceptualize what that is, you know, who knows what their background is, who knows what kind of day they woke up having. None of that really matters because we know that we each want to be treated with respect. We each want to live a healthy, happy, fruitful life. We each want to feel as if we matter. We each want to feel as if we can contribute to the larger whole. And as we begin to focus on those things, we will find ourselves in greater unity with other people. We'll find it easier to be with others where we may not necessarily have the same types of taste buds. We don't necessarily like the same movies, but none of those are essential to what it means to be human and to what it means to live in our world. So let's focus more on the essentials. You don't have to disregard your own preferences or someone else's, but it's the essentials that will help us build the type of unity and community that we want and help us manifest the one humanity. Namaste.